We are going back to the Witchlight Carnival, which we left off with you guys visiting last time. And let's just do a bit of explanation for our new player before we get into things here. Where's my music? Here we go. Okay, music check. So I'm just going to turn some music on through Roll20. That's usually about this volume. If no one can hear it, I can turn it up. So just double checking. Okay. So we find ourselves here at the Witchlight Carnival, and it always happens at dusk. And as the sun goes down, the ticket booth begins to open a bit later than dusk, but it happens in the evening. And there is a set time of events. Now you can see in the top left, we are on hour 2. At hour 4, Bigtop Extravaganza event, and then at the end of the night, at the 8th hour, the crowning of the Witchlight Monarch. And I'll try to turn it down for myself, it's a bit loud. And then in the bottom right, seeing as this place is strange and has its roots in the Fae, there is a weird, like, what would the word, almost like hive mind attitude to the place. And great events, good or bad, can affect the feeling of the carnival, the mood of the guests. And this is where we have our mood meter in the bottom right. So I believe you guys, you helped, and every time you help, you get a go up. Unless you do something bad, you're going to go down. Now, I believe you guys did the carousel. Is that where we left off? You helped rename the unicorns at the carousel?
Yes.
And we wrote it, and they all told us, like, where our lost thing was.
Correct. And you were shown a series of horrible creatures. Some of you were shown the terrifying Babylona Blightstraw. Some of you were shown the equally horrifying Endelyn Moongrave, who seems to have a kind of puppet stage inside of her. And then finally, some of you were given the treat of seeing the clockwork Scabbard the Nightshade. These creatures were trying to give you a little bit of help as to complete yourselves, just as a thank you for what you've done for them. Okay. So as for what the party's done, you entered into the ticket booth, you got your tickets, which are valid for 8 punches at all the various events. You saw the Calliope, which was a strange man, a monkey, wearing a jacket covered in buttons while he was playing the Calliope, and a strange little goblin wearing a ladybug costume was jingling around, putting cans under people's noses, asking for button donations. Some of you did were so kind just to give buttons. I got that here. And then you moved on. You played a couple of small stall games, Goblin Wrestling, Almaraz Ring Toss, Guess the Feathers of the Cockatrice, things like that. And you also interacted with Durlagrawn, who is a my mind's gone blank. Displacer Beast, that's it. Who is in charge of the lost property, and he's really good with kids, and he has, I believe it's toffee apple syrup in the little tin around his neck to give to the children when they're sad. She did tell you of her lost cub, Star, and how some things, when they go missing, don't come back in this place, and she believes they go somewhere else, somewhere strange. And you try to persuade a bit more out of her than that, but she wasn't very forthcoming, unfortunately. So from there you move to the carousel, and that kind of brings us up to speed, I believe. Is there anything important?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. So,
Can I ask? Oh, I was gonna
yes?
say, can I ask the horse that I'm riding about? I've already forgot their name. Durlagrawn's missing cub.
Yep. Durlagrawn. After this kind of communication with you, they do revert to their kind of fixed position as this carousel rides, every now and again kind of breaking out into movement. You kind of wait for one of those times when it seems to be animated, putting this question to it. The creature would, you see it shake its head gently in the negative.
Okay. Then I instantly turn to the party and yell out, Endelyn Moongrave has
my lost creativity, my artistic ability to paint again. This silly horse whispered it to me.
Yes, it seems mine told me about my lost item as well.
Nice. And so you guys do have a bunch of toys that you won as well from the small stores. You see that opposite you, the feasting orchards do lie open. It looks like they are calling in for a event of some kind. Looks like an eating contest is soon to be underway. Although, you looking around, you do see to your right the dragonfly rides. People are zooming around the area there. To the left, you know there was a lake with some events happening there as well. Okay, no one else. Okay. Alright, just checking. Am I coming through alright? It looks like my ping's a bit high here.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool. So as you guys head out, Feasting Orchard in sight, you can see a variety of people filing in, kids pulling their parents along as well, as it looks like there is, it looks like the object of choice is custard-filled cupcakes. However, as you are crossing the thoroughfare here, let's see, what is it? Sydney. You suddenly spot someone that looks extremely familiar to you, moving around the area, kind of caught in a almost like childlike state of remembrance. You see an old friend. I'm afraid. What would they see? What would he see as he looked towards you? How would you have changed? How do you look now?
So Amafrey is a kind of like a medium-ish height. She is garbed in silvery blue scale armor. Her hair is stark white. She appears human, but her ears are tiny bit elongated, almost appearing like a half elf. And she would be just like looking around, almost in a daze, kind of like almost in remembrance.
Watch it! You see, as you kind of have to quickly step out the side as these stilt walkers come, and they seem to be juggling an arrangement of strange objects. You can see fruit, pies, even one of them's got a scimitar by the looks of it, and they're asking for the crowd to throw in objects. Kind of as they move on, you can see kids throwing in toys and food and stuff, but you see now Sydney kind of recovering from getting shoved. This figure, as the procession moves past of stilt walkers. How do you respond?
She would call out and just be like, "Sydney, is that you?" Lolly ho. I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. I felt this strange pull, and you know, the moon provides. We are here. And please tell me it's not your sense of fashion.
And you can see the criers. Think you can handle the power? Custard eating contest starting soon. Come join. We've got prizes, we've got giveaways. I'm kind of ushering people into the orchard.
Oh dear.
Hot on your heels.
Nice. I'll take it you guys are all moving forward into the music and mirth that radiate from this park, and you can smell flowers, mead, berry pie, very enjoyable things wafting through the air. You can see stilt walkers, more of these figures. However, these ones are plucking fruit from the trees as they hand them down to laughing kids and passers-by. You can see magicians are drumming, they're piping and strumming. Everywhere they're singing, dancing, and an inordinate amount of custard. You can see them busy injecting the cupcakes. And you're welcome to find a seat if you like.
She's just gonna watch.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we got 2 competing. What about our Ben Brick?
I will not be competing.
Fair enough. Custard's not for everyone. All right, so you guys have 10 custard hit points. Now, you are able to safely eat as many cupcakes as 3 plus your constitution modifier, and then for each additional cupcake, you're going to be needing to make constitution saving throws to keep it down, or you will take custard damage. Let's see, that was Sydney and Moon, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, and what are your constitution modifiers? Oh.
+1.
Oh, you got your work cut out for you, Moon. The man can eat a lot of pies.
That's the concerning part.
Okay. Well, as they get down to brass tacks here, you can see a little gnome in a suit step up, kind of wrinkled, and pulls out some kind of megaphone. All right. I want a nice, clean eating contest. I don't want to see any go under the table or anything like that. And stick to your own plates, please. And with that, begin! And you can see just fireworks come up, explosions in the background as the contest goes underway. And you can see like variety of from little kids to just everyday figures to some of the more strange and unique races that can be pulled into these kind of events, as you guys surely know. Let's get so you guys begin to join. Now you can have 3 plus your con modifier safely. So the first 4 rounds would go pretty standard. In the background, you'd see a couple of the parents bow out, or some taking it on with gusto. 1 or 2 kids getting stomach cramps because they've eaten just too many sweets. Just needing to run to the bathroom, or just getting a bit of stomach cramps. Now, as we get to the 5th round, Moon, this is where it starts to get hard for you. You can feel the custard pushing back up as you try and shove this one down. Please, DC 10 con saving throw.
Okay.
And it will slowly increase as it gets harder and harder to keep them down.
I restarted my laptop right before we started playing. I was hoping that this would smooth out the dice roll, but no.
No problem.
But I
If
did
you are
manage
stuck...
to...
Yes?
Ah,
Oh, shucks.
Oh no.
Okay. Unfortunately, you feel it coming back up on you, man. You try and hold down the mouth, and a bit of custard comes out the nose. You're going to take 2 points of custard damage, so you do have 8 points left. So you each start with... Actually, I think it's... Yeah. And so with 2 down, you can see your friend looking at you with a smile. He just pops it in his mouth. It doesn't look like he even chews it. Just kind of swallows it. It's pretty intimidating. But we come back around again. You can see more people bowing out. There's only about 6 other competitors at the moment, and it's getting pretty intense. Moon, you're looking down at the plate in front of you. Endless supply. Let's get another con save. You could always choose to bow out without taking custard damage if you feel you'd rather not face it. Otherwise, Moon, one more from you. And then pretty soon we're going to start getting them from Sydney. Okay, nice. That'll give you advantage in your next save as you look him straight in the eyes and just shove it down there. Now, as we get to the final round, that Sydney won't need to make a save. Well, let's see. Nope, he will need to make one this round. Miscalculated. So, Sydney, you've been feeling strong. Moon, you do have advantage on this one. Don't forget about that. But Sydney, you also need to make me a con save. I mean, yeah, Sydney. Con save from you both now as we start to get neck and neck, although you are up by 2 custard damage. Oh! Oh, you flew too close to the sun. Okay, let's see. As the cupcakes... Oh, you take 5 custard damage. You try and hide it, but like some custard like comes down the chin and falls onto the table. It's... Yeah, it is what it is here. So 3 and a 10, you just scraped through movement. Nice, okay. This is neck and neck. Alright, as we go into the next round, you can see there's like one more person, and it looks like a hefty dwarf that is just like power eating. It's like he's eating with anger. I'm going to start rolling for him as well. Let's get another roll from both of you, please. Straight rolls. Okay, the dwarf's in it to win it. Sydney's in it to win it. Okay, the DC's gone up to 14 at this point. Who are we missing? Moon. Oh, damn, man. Okay. He kind of shifts around in his seat, gets a bit of space. Yeah, it feels like a new cat, and just goes to it. So that's going to give you advantage in next round as well, as it starts to get higher. We're going up to 16. And you see the dwarf... mouth to hand turning green. He bows out very, very quickly. And now let's get a DC 16 con save. As you two are the only ones left, and you are fighting for the crown. People are kind of bowing out, sliding their cupcakes over to you. You guys are just... It's just a mountain in front of you. So Moon, you have advantage on this one, don't forget.
Okay. Come on. Okay. I should get the roll sometimes. So.
No problem. Should come through.
14.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Fortunately. Okay, with that, I think the multitude of cupcakes, and you were getting to the point now where they were starting to like kind of touch the bottom of the esophagus, and they all come tumbling out. So unfortunately, the you hear kind of kids crying and like, oh, disgusting. It's like people nearby prestidigitating the hell out of that before it hits the table and splatters everywhere. But and we have a winner! And he runs over. You see this like tiny little gnome like, get down. One moment. And get down from his platform, like start to run over, climbs on your table, like almost slips on the custard everywhere, but lifts your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone begins to kind of cheer, and to the winner goes the spoils. You, my dear boy, and he gives you a cupcake. But not just any cupcake. Eat this, and you shall disappear from the eyes of everyone for 1 hour. It effectively functions like a potion of invisibility, but you just have to eat the cupcake. You gotta eat the whole cupcake.
If you eat half, is that only 30 minutes?
No, nothing happens, I'm afraid. Magic is a stickler for rules. As you see people beginning to cheer, and some of them maybe going to just take a bit of a rest or a sit after all of that, you guys are kind of left in the winner's circle, so to speak, as people kind of patting Sydney on the back here.
Emma's gonna look at Sydney and just say, it terrifies me how you can stuff food down and not regurgitate. It's terrifying, honestly. I don't think that's something to be proud of.
You can hear people, there's a bit of a, what would be the word, a group of Witchlight hands that are going around announcing, 2 hours to the Bigtop Extravaganza. Come and see the amazing acrobats, amazing shows. Maybe bring your own skills to the tent. And they kind of move on. But you still do have a bit of time. It's probably about 2.5 hours into your adventures here. So how you guys proceed from here is completely up to you. Yes, if you wanted to participate, sorry, you punch it.
And then...
Just so that our new player is aware, all around you, you do see a variety of smaller stalls, in addition to the larger events you see on the map. And there are stalls that are made to test all kinds of attributes, basically the 6 main attributes. And you can, you win prizes if you do compete in them.
I think we wanted to go to the bubble pot. Teapot.
Yeah,
Sure.
if that's something we want to do.
DM,
Yep,
So-
what's up?
can you explain the timeline to me?
Yes.
What happens if the timeline reaches the end?
Then the night's events are over and the carnival closes until the next day, or till it comes back again.
Okay. So, how long do we have to, like, track down our stuff?
It would seem until the carnival would close. You're welcome to put more effort into that side of things if you'd prefer.
So we have until the end of today to do that?
Yeah. Although you feel with the carnival, like if this doesn't seem like an extremely dire need. It kind of almost feels like you are where you need to be in the moment.
Okay.
So, as you guys are moving forward in the crowd, you said you were interested in moving over to the Bubble Pop Teapot, and you can definitely do that. Heading... are you just going back through the carousel? Are you going around any specific direction?
I think we should go the other way so we can see if there's anything new along. Something else that might catch our eye.
Okay. And that would mean going west. You curve around towards the lake. You can see the first event comes into view, the gondola swans. And as you look, a strange... it's a swan gondola that pulls up. And as it does, you can see it starts to ruffle its feathers and preen clean itself as if a real creature. A couple of the kids, one of them gets off and kind of leans out and hugs the swan's neck. And, "I love you, Swanee!" And you see the swan, "And I you!" And it kind of starts to fill up with new riders that, "Welcome aboard!" and takes off again. And in the distance, there's the Silver Song Lake, where it looks like a mermaid, beautiful with all her sheening scales, is sitting upon a clam, preparing for some kind of performance. Sure. Okay. Sounds like we're onto the bubble pop still. And I mean, the night is still early. There's still the mood of the carnival is really good and joyful at the moment. You can see smiling faces, people winning prizes. And then I just want to double check who has. I see. I'm afraid it's got a 15 passive perception. Does anyone have that equal to that or
I
higher?
have a 15 passive perception. High wisdom. Dab, dab, dab.
Yeah. Good heavens, man. Okay. What, starting feat? Expertise? How?
Wait, did you say you have a 19 passive perception?
He did. So
Oh
what is
my
that, like the alert or observant? Yeah. Okay, that's understandable then.
Ah.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Well, then... Let's see here. For now, you pass by the Bigtop. You can see they're busy setting up a bunch of safety nets and rigging and kind of everything that the performers will need to dazzle and Oh, sorry, mine went blank. To Dazzle and Wow. Now, you come up to the bubble pop teapot. As you see, as you're approaching it, you can see people entering in at a door, getting their tickets punched by a group of goblins, sitting at a table, drinking tea or something else to that effect. Now, as they go in, they come out a bit later, out of the spout, in a bubble that they're encased in. As you're kind of watching this, like a kid goes in that comes out the top, and the parents running after as the kid's getting like further away, enjoying himself by all means. The bubbles don't go out and wander anywhere else besides the fairgrounds, but as you approach, you get closer enough to see these goblins that are the kind of ticket punchers. And when, as you do, you can see that one of the creatures, one of these goblins, gestures to a sign on his table that reads, "The word that you intend to say, try saying it a different way." Kind of looks expectantly. One or two like stop in their card game to just take in the situation here. Well. Yes, entry. Hold out your ticket. I told you this wouldn't work. But did you... Just give them a chance. All right. Let's see. Welcome to the Bubble Teapot. Toil and trouble, or you might find yourself poked on a gnarly tree knot. Kind of looks to you expectantly. Okay, thoroughly defeated, he punches your ticket and gives it back to you. Enjoy your night, sir. No one. You're welcome to it. He seemed to indicate that he was interested in some kind of rhyming interaction. But if you are all, if you'd give him a rhyme, he would be happy. If anyone else would like to as well.
Where's Vito when you need him?
On vacation, apparently.
Okay, well, if the words you will not say will get in your way, then please just step into the teapot and off you'll go into the night. Tickets, please. And he goes around one by one. As just follow the ladder inside, you'll be fine. He goes and sits down. You can hear like Brake's character. Oh, my feet are killing me. Don't know what's different tonight, really. Welcome! Pointing to the sign for some new people as you guys step inside the Bubble Pop Teapot. Unless anyone chooses not to, of course. You must note that out of your 8 stubs, one of them has been punched. If you do.
Yeah, she'll go in. Emma will go in.
And Moon as well.
Yes.
Nice.
And
as
I'm past them, I'm going to say the word that is said must be muttered before bed.
Oh, marvelous! You, sir. Yes, my. He kind of pulls something out of his pocket. A small little bag. Tea leaves, please. He hands them over to you if you'll take them.
Yes.
Okay, he will briefly explain how they work just in passing. Effectively, you know what, I'll share it with you. Here you go. It is scatterleaf tea. So you can get the effects of protection from good and evil. Alright. I imagine you follow your party back into the teapot as well.
Yes.
You find yourself lifted up. And as you kind of rise above everything, the sound, the music, it's actually, it gets slightly quieter and it's extremely serene. The lights kind of wash over you. You can see people definitely enjoying themselves. The lights of all the insects nearby, little fireflies and creatures nearby. It's people in the other bubbles are not much of a concern as you guys are kind of floating, and you see your trip seems to take you somewhat south. You begin to go over an area that you see contains like a miniature village, some kind of pixie kingdom. A bunch of pixies seem to be running in terror as a cat causes terrifying amounts of damage in their wagon circle, chasing some of them down before one of the larger people kind of step in, and you are carried still. Now, if you guys are wanting to steer yourself in a specific direction, you can attempt to make a check to do so. Otherwise, it's kind of wherever the bubble carries you.
I would like to, yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Any direction in particular?
Around the big top and over towards Lost Property. It's kind of here-ish, and where we saw the two frogs.
Sure. So yeah, the Lost Property, that's where the Durlagron is, the Displacer Beast.
Right, but specifically around where we pulled the kid out.
Oh, yes,
He was
of course.
being bullied by the two things.
So you begin to swing around. The first thing you see, which is quite a hard thing to miss, you can kind of hear the slight sounds of fanfares in the distance as the giant snail racing takes place. It looks something like this. Is the picture showing?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, that's awesome.
Perfect. Yep, and it's going all night. You can head over there anytime you like. Your trip continues to carry you past the Hall of Illusions. You see in fact, you see a strange scene unfold here. With high perception, something catches your eye. There's this. Let me actually just grab a note quickly. There's a wooden mannequin. You see something's happening around this wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape. And this figure is hovering inside a glass cabinet. And at the top of the cabinet, in large words, glowing, which is the only reason you can just make them out, you see, I'll put this in chat as well, Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter. Now, the reason this catches your eye, this whole scene here, is the two figures. One kind of drops to his knee and pulls out a box, a halfling couple. And as you see one of them wearing butterfly face paints, and as he drops to one knee and he pulls this box from his pocket, the sweetheart bursts into laughter and begins rolling on the ground, pointing at him. The male halfling begins sobbing and darts into the nearby Hall of Illusions. Without getting his ticket punched, you can see a mime just kind of like lifting his hand and then dropping it again in defeat. The scene now, I mean, if anyone would like to make an Arcana check that may have noticed the scene about Tasha, history check, sorry.
I can take a stab at it. I'm not sure if my.
Yeah.
Oh well, then in that case, you roll.
Is it just the people that had high perceptions, or is it all of us that are flying?
No, at this point, I'd say like you could notice where your friends are looking and kind of look down there. Anyone who would like to can make a history check to try and recall something about Tasha in this situation.
Oh no, the dice
it
give
is-
it and the dice take it away. Oh,
19, whoa. Okay, well, you do in fact recall that Tasha was one of the names reportedly used by Igwil, the Witch Queen, a legendary archmage. And just a bit of trivia that you can recall, I just want to put that in chat for you as well, and that you understand the situation, that he was she was probably affected by Tasha's hideous laughter upon approaching the mannequin, and well, a bad time to be affected by it when your partner proposes. So unfortunate for the halfling couple there, but unless you guys are steering yourselves downwards, you are still floating towards the big top and onward towards the lost property.
I wanted to try to steer myself above, like through the, like over the staff area.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me an acrobatics check. Anyone who's interested in doing that. It is a low DC. Nice. It's a DC 10, so you are fine. Those of you that looks like you are. Jesse kind of suddenly splits off from the rest. Oh no. Wind kind of catches him and pushes him a bit more over the calliope area. As you guys do take a small bend over the stop area, you see a kind of a private, like a wagon, ring of wagons that has been surrounded by a grass verge in order to keep it with the semblance of privacy. There is an entrance from the back of the big top from what you can see now. Are you guys looking for anything in particular as you fly over here? And you're welcome to make perception checks.
I can do a quick perception check.
Sure. But for those of you that wanted to come over the stop area, was there anything in particular you wanted to keep an eye out for? Damn, you're on fire.
Always high perception. Deb.
So
I would be looking for anything that probably looks suspicious. I'm not. Ooh, hella! Look at that.
nice.
Did one better. But I would look for anything probably that sticks out, suspicious. Anything we could probably use for any like hints to what we could be looking for in terms of like our lost.
Sure.
And Moon would try to be paying attention to any disgruntled staff or any conversations that I could overhear about something that we might be able to help with.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing that catches your eye is this majestic beast that is sitting there smoking a pipe, just kind of staring up quizzically as these bubbles appear over. He doesn't look very happy, despite the painted smile on his face. And that's the first thing you notice. You do notice something else. Another interesting looking fella is a very thick-set guy who looks maybe like he's a bit of a bouncer, and by his actions, maybe this is true, he has a black-feathered bird humanoid figure. I'm sure some of you may have seen a kenku before, by the scruff of the neck. And this figure is flailing, and it looks like this figure is escorting the kenku from the premises, or the stop area at least. Now, this is what the figure looks like. It is a large, burly creature with a pumpkin on his head, and he moves promptly to the grass verge. He doesn't go into the big top. He moves to the grass verge, and you are watching this kind of. He moves a little bit further away from you as you are like floating in the area, but you can still kind of see the general scene. He just shoves this creature right through the verge, and you see the verge kind of open up around his hand and close once more as he pulls it, kind of having deposited this figure on the other side. Claps his hands as if dusting himself off, and moves back into the big top tent. And
Suspicious.
it's
Very
kind of
suspicious.
yeah, it's kind of hard for you guys to hear, unfortunately, though, being in the bubble and being so high up. So it did look like this person was disgruntled and that they were being ejected from the stop area. They don't have the typical Witchlight get up on, so you're not sure if they're staff or not. You see Sydney is getting... unfortunately, you don't, but you do kind of catch up with your party with the arc. But it looks like you are heading straight to one of the stars on the big top, the top of the canvas tent here. Do you want to give me one more acrobatics check to try and avoid that? Unless you don't want to avoid it. What are you trying to do? You're trying to land, change your direction to meet up with your party? No, you're good, you're good. 23 can carry over easily. But as for the party... Oh, that was Ben Breck's 23, never mind. An 11, that still passes. You need a DC 10 to control it. You can start subtly. It's kind of like a hamster wheel. You got to like treadmill yourself there. But back to the party. As you see this event happening, are you changing your... I mean, you're still getting carried with the bubbles. Are you changing your path? Are you doing something else?
I'll just kind of look back at the crowd or the party and point down and do like the hand signal for bird. I just think we should try to keep an eye on that one.
Emma will nod.
You just see me trying to yell through my bubble to speak to you, but
Emma's just gonna give a quick shake of her head of disapproval.
Cupcakes.
So, you kind of curve along as you were interested in originally heading to the lost property, and as you've kind of gone a little bit out of bounds, you can feel like some kind of force pushing you back in that direction, which does happen to be the same direction that the figure is moving along the crowds. And as it gets a little bit difficult to follow this figure as it is quite busy. Let me get a perception check from anyone who is interested in following the path that this figure takes.
real quick, can we see what this is?
Yeah, you can. It seems to be a rest area. There's a bunch of kids that are sitting up against the stones. It's like a bit of a picnic area almost. Okay, yeah, more than enough as the group watches this figure, kind of floating down low enough to start picking up the carnival music once more. You see them looking around. They definitely seem like they don't want to be followed as they're kind of pushing through the crowd at quite a speed. They are fairly short, so they are using this to their advantage. They make it all the way, well, as your balloons kind of follow here, they start to move a little faster than you. And you can see that it looks like as this figure gets over the bridge, they are taking a right, heading towards the Dragonfly rides. And as they do so, you see this figure take the form of another individual. Something happens, the appearance of this figure changes, and she becomes a squat dwarf with a bushy brown beard, who kind of looks around to check if anyone noticed anything, and heads into the Dragonfly rides.
Well, that wasn't suspicious at all. No, not at all.
So with these bubbles, do we just like get close to the ground and then pop them?
Yeah, whenever you want to. Going down doesn't require an acrobatics check. You can go down at any time.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start looking and like pointing down.
Okay, as you guys...
You don't weigh enough.
How
It
high
takes some
up
time.
were we?
Ranging from about... probably the highest would have been about 80 feet up, but for the most part it was around like 40, 30 to 40.
Okay.
Okay, well, one by one you come down, the bubbles popping as soon as they touch the fresh grass, and you kind of rejoin the crowd who made a space just to allow you to land, and now swarms in, consuming you once more. You are joined with the crowd. What's you guys doing?
One of the other things that I was going to look for as we came close to the lost property through here to over where we are now is look for any of those frog people that were in between the tents or on top of the tents.
Sure. Okay, and you rolled a 17. Let's see here. You will, in fact, notice there is one that kind of darts across one of these small stall roofs and out of sight.
Okay.
Okay. For the... you could have pointed that out if you like for our new party member as well. It's a creepy little creature. Let me just get the handout for you. I'll put it in Discord in a moment. Anyway, what is the plan for now?
Emma would like to follow the suspicious person that went into the Dragonfly rides. I'm not sure if everybody else wants to.
To check out
Pumpkin Night?
Oh.
So, well, you saw what this person became. This dwarven countenance. You start to head up in the Dragonfly, in the direction of the Dragonfly rides, and as you head there, you see the figure that was handing out the welcome events. Is there Northwind, this large, pretty much a sentient tree. Him and his friendly squirrel friend will punch your tickets. Welcome. You can kind of hear this voice that sounds like the rumbling of earth and the cracking of stone. You guys get your tickets punched. Yeah. Welcome to head inside. You see there's huge lily pads resting on a beautiful pool here that glistens with phosphorescent algae. The giant dragonflies use the lily pads as landing platforms, buzzing loudly overhead with wings as brilliant as stained glass windows. They alight briefly to pick up and drop off excited passengers.
Okay.
You definitely can. Yeah, go for it.
I think. Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Can I try to roll stealth?
Yes, sure. You want to try to blend into the wall, kind of just hang back, stick in the shadows.
Blend into the crowds, basically, so that if this person who's paying attention looks over their shoulder, they don't necessarily see us, or me at least.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, 14. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. As you take a look around, Sydney, you do see a figure that matches this description. They are, as you watch, they are busy. It looks like they're going up to one of the dragonflies to ride, but they kind of bend over and do something you can't really see with the saddle or the kind of harnessing of the creature. They then stand up and they quickly move over to the next dragonfly and they get on for a ride. You see the dragonfly takes off and starts to... They've got a course that they seem to do. They don't really go outside of the dragonfly riding area. No problem. They're pretty obvious where they're flying above you, and you can see as you kind of look back to the dragonfly that they left behind, there's another kind of halfling figure that hops on, and it begins to take off.
Can I use
you guys...
agility?
Yes?
Can I use feline agility to try to dash to that dragonfly?
How much movement speed would you get in total with your feline agility?
I believe it's double. It's like
double
taking,
movement,
yeah, it's like taking a
30.
dash action for free.
60 feet.
So in one round you could get, what, 90 feet?
Pretty much, if you take, if he
All together, yeah.
dashes, yeah.
Okay, I think you would just be able to do it then. Are you kind of shouting out, or are you just trying to get up to him surreptitiously?
I'm just gonna kind of try to bump into the guy that's about to grab the dragonfly, apologize, and then try to take it.
Fair enough. As you just nudge into him quite gently as well, you hear this like, and the saddle falls off the side. You hear as he is dumped into the water. That spluttering coming up. Would seem that the belt was loosened or something to that effect. Oh, please, a hand if you would. Kind of getting up, drying himself off. Oh, my, some strength you've got.
My friend, you could have taken a tumble from much higher.
Oh, you think so? I guess I have you to thank then. Reaches a hand out to shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand and then indicate towards the next landing dragonfly.
You think this one's safe? I'm maybe thinking maybe I should stick to the ground. Nope, never get anywhere if you don't take risks. That's what they always say, you gotta listen, and he kind of bravely squares himself up and he marches off to face another dragonfly, but hopefully this one much safer. You can see, those of you that have been keeping an eye on the situation from outside, that the figure on the dragonfly has kind of been watching the situation from the sky and has taken in that this failed.
Perhaps not too loud, my friend. Yeah.
How high up are these dragonflies?
They go between like 30 and 50 feet. It would seem that they do a couple of loops of this marshy area and then they land again. It's not too long a ride.
So the guy that was like watching all this unfold should be landing.
Yes.
Alright.
Are you simply going to follow their ride and wait for them to touch down?
Yes. But stealthily.
Okay, so you want to rather blend into the crowd and not be noticed. Is anyone else making any other preparations for the landing of this biggest dragonfly?
Is there a
Okay.
particular...
Sorry, what was that? Sure you can.
Before you roll, Emma's gonna place a hand on Sydney's shoulder and cast guidance.
Oh
Nice.
god, somebody
So-
got it.
Yeah. So Sydney, you have an extra D4 to roll with your ability check.
And Moon Moon, were you saying something before that when I interrupted?
You said there was a... You said there was a landing zone, like, specifically, or...
Multiple lily pads, and they're all just picking one to land. They're all kind of connected with small walkways back to the ground.
Okay.
I don't think a max roll D4 is going to help you there with your stealth. I am trying. 5 plus the 2. You have a -1 to your stealth. It's a 4.
You're
It's a 4. You got a 9.
She looks like she rolled it as well. Did you roll your own bless there as well? No problem. It doesn't really
Oh,
matter.
I didn't see the roll. You probably GM rolled it. Okay, yeah, I'm
Which is-
trying.
Quite fitting as you're trying to blend in, but it's difficult with the kind of gear you're wearing. Just mismatching colors, stripes on spots, and boy.
It's just
All right.
Amber's gonna give a quick sigh and say, "Forgive me, my friend, but no amount of god power is going to hide this attire."
As you're watching, though, eventually you see this dragonfly begin to drop down. A disgruntled dwarf gets off, and so there's no group of you waiting for them. For this person, is that correct? They get off the dragonfly and they're still alone for the time being.
Yeah, I was waiting for him, but I wasn't like just out in the open, like standing there where he could, or trying to hide where he couldn't really, know that I was waiting for him.
Fair. And as you watch this, dwarf kind of moves into a group of like a family that's coming to help their kids get onto one of the dragonflies. And as they use this for cover, you see popping out the other side. It looks like they've dropped the dwarf disguise and are back as this black bird with little butterfly wings on its back. And it kind of looks around and tries to move stealthily to the exit of the ride.
Any ideas? I believe that would go to our, I was gonna say our cat friend.
Yeah, I think I'll take it, but I'll try to save it for you.
You have a magnifying glass?
Yeah.
A wooden magnifying glass without glass.
Hardly a magnifying glass.
Just a stick with a circle on it.
Pretty much.
It's a fancy stick.
Can't believe you're gonna steal Moon's stick.
Yeah,
Leave Moon
I go-
alone.
I go ahead and give it to him.
All right.
And I try to rush after.
You can
The
do
kenku.
so. Kind of keeping low, keeping people in between you and this figure darting through the crowds, and they immediately step off of the track, kind of heading to sit behind a caravan, behind a set of stalls, out of the way of the majority of the people here. As you kind of creep and watch, you can see it looks like they seem pretty downhearted. They're kind of sitting, hands around knees, knees up to chest, and they're kind of taking a moment to gather their breath.
Is the group following me further behind?
I was gonna say Emma would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. God, do I have anything to lay down? No. I guess I'll take arrows and place them on the ground, pointing in the direction that we've gone, so that they can follow them like breadcrumbs. And I'll try flanking the tent.
Okay, you kind of come around from the other direction. With your stealth check, it's easy enough to do. You can hear this figure kind of muttering to themselves under their breath. It looks like they are kind of beginning to get up and brush their clothes off. You can see your party on the other side, kind of closer to the dragonfly rides. What are you doing?
I'll kind of want to steal from him. But that's me being a rogue. Does he look like he has anything?
Yeah, this figure has a bag on them.
Could I roll sleight of hand to try to take the bag?
I think you would have to give me one more stealth check first.
Okay.
You're trying to get close enough to reach the bag.
Mm, 13.
Okay, a bit lower, but you kind of scrape against the wall slightly, making the smallest sound. You cringe internally. The figure does not seem to notice you, and you are welcome to make a sleight of hand check.
17.
17. Okay, as this figure is sitting there, musing, mulling over whatever memories seem to be disturbing them, I'll at least give you the handout so you have an idea of the creature you are looking at. Fortunately, it's got the name on there. Not make a cropped out one, which I'll open next time. But you do see this kenku. Well, they don't notice. As they stand up and the bag drops to the ground, you pull it out the way.
Okay. Still keeping an eye on him. I plan to use the backpack to, either gain trust and return it to him, or be like, hey, you forgot something, and get him to stop somewhere, so that we can talk to him later. But for now, I'm keeping an eye on him, not looking in the bag yet.
Okay. Well, you see this figure. You hear like a harried voice as they seem to have realized something is gone. It didn't take very long. They seem to be looking around frantically.
Has the party caught up yet?
Are you guys following after the trail left for you by your ally?
Yes.
Yeah, Amma would be following behind. Yeah.
So
I
you
think
would arrive. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think we would have been there by the time the kenku noticed.
Okay. So yeah, Moon, you. Oh, I must get a token made for you. Sorry. Yeah, you're on this side, and your party is all on the other side as you come in between these two stalls and absconded with this figure's pouch. They are freaking out. What are you doing?
In a hush, I will kind of, hey, and call to him and get him to turn and face me while my party approaches.
He stands up and, as a fear reaction, changes to look like you.
Okay, I don't like that.
That's my bag. Kind of in your voice back to you, which I wasn't trying to mimic there, so that was terrible. What you doing with my bag? Takes a step forward and lunges at it with kind of a very, in a very avian-like manner.
I'm really tempted to keep away with a bird of prey. I will ask him what he's doing. What brings him here tonight?
Very well. This figure looks at you, And I mean, I'm not sure how you would tell with a kenku, but this does seem to be a female kenku, as she says to you. She does seem quite defeated, scraping her foot in the ground. I'm looking for someone that is quite close to me. And you can hear the voice doesn't really match the body. It's probably something she's heard said elsewhere, kind of bringing forward. I'm trying to see the owners of the carnival, but they won't let me in. So I've been trying to make trouble and force them to see me. Cycling through different voices.
What would you need to have a meeting for? And I'll extend the backpack towards them.
My pact. I made a pact with one Zybilna, Archfey who rules the Feywild domain of Prismere. But recently, I haven't heard her voice. I can't contact her. It is troubling an itch inside my head that I cannot quite scratch. I need to speak to the owners. I know that the carnival is connected to the land of Prismere somehow, even if I'm not allowed by my contract to travel through. Wait, listen. She kind of pulls you in conspiratorially. During my last visit, I overheard Mr. Witch and Mr. Light talking in their wagon, and you can hear this figure makes use of the kind of perfect mimicry trait to imitate the owner's agitated voices. You hear Light's voice. Someone is going to find out about this. They'll shut us down. And this is followed by Witch's calm yet firm reply. We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return we stay in business. That is what you want, right? Kettlesteam closes her mouth again. You see?
Okay, you said Hourglass something?
Hourglass Coven. I'll put that in chat.
And this is the clown and the rotund gentleman that were in the wagon that Burley brought us to in the beginning? Or the fairy?
Did you guys meet the owners in the beginning? Am I misremembering something?
We did not meet them,
Okay.
from what I remember from the video.
Okay, yeah.
Disregard.
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. One is like a jester, one is like a dour, dapper gentleman in a suit.
Okay.
Okay. She would have said she tried to get into the stop area a bunch of times. That's where their wagon is. And keeps getting kicked out by the security.
Okay. We could look into this as well for you. I don't think causing a ruckus is going to benefit you at all. I think they might just toss you out.
I must do something. I need the voice to come back. It must come back. She seems quite desperate. Please, if you could find out anything, please.
I'll indicate to the group that's behind the bird or approaching from behind the bird, so he doesn't get startled. So she doesn't get startled.
Turns. Yep. More. You're gonna need help, and we could use help. Something strange, something foul, underneath the sweetness of the carnival. Maybe you could help, Kettlesteam?
At the very least, we can look into this.
Shakes it. I have some ideas brewing that might help us. The things we can do to see them. Maybe one or two things we can steal that are important that we could use to bargain with them. Demand to speak to them.
Yes, dear. What-
Go on.
What items do you know of and their locations?
The vein and the watch. The watch and the vein. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light's tools for controlling the carnival. Mr. Light has the Weatherlight vein. Mr. Tool, Mr. Okay. So many names. My brain's going flat. And the other one has the watch, of course. Without this, they cannot leave. The carnival cannot pack up. It cannot travel to another place. It would be the strongest bargaining chip. They know something. I'm sure that they might know where your lost items are.
Oh well, we already know where they are.
Oh, but
We
why
just
are you? Yeah.
we don't want to leave here yet. There's something more we need to do.
You need to go through to the. You need to go to the land beyond, to Zybilna's realm, and Prismia. They know how to. They can take you there. I'll show you the way.
I'm not very great at Arcana, but could Emma make an Arcana check for Prismir to see if we can get more information about that?
Arcana history would also be appropriate.
Okay, then I'll, or I
Can
can roll
do whatever.
history.
Oh, whatever you'd like to roll. No, whatever feels more appropriate to your character.
Okay, I'll roll a history plus guidance for myself.
Okay. Okay.
Crying emoji.
Got a
A
16.
low roll on the guidance.
9. Okay, yeah. This place isn't a very well-known place, and you guys actually have not heard of it.
Okay.
What about me?
Wait, what did you roll? Oh, that 21. That's recent.
21.
Apologies, Ben Breck. That's pretty good. As you ask her for a bit more information, you would come to the understanding that are you robbing her again, Moon, or is that just a mistake?
I'm trying to flip the lid of the bag open so that I can see inside.
All right. So Benbreck, you do this movement while Benbreck's figuring out that what she is talking about is probably a domain of the Feywild. So usually, as like an archbey will come and settle an area and kind of start to change it to their own likings, and it becomes like a little localized place. Prismir is such a place to this the patron of this kettle steam, who she says his name is Zybilna. I'll put that name in chat, Zybilna.
I was gonna roll an insight to see if I could see Moon trying to open the little baggie and just be like, no, stop it.
Well, you're welcome to try.
Oh no.
Inside the bag, you see a couple of bits of paper, a couple of like bits of metal, bits of rations. I mean, it looks pretty messy. A couple of feathers here or there. You do see there's like a crystal bottle sitting, giving weight to like the back side of it. You're not really sure what's inside. It's hard to see any kind of liquid coloration. A bunch of notes rolled up, maybe scrolls, maybe just journal notes. There's going to be some coins scattered around, but that's going to be pretty much it. No kind of crazy artifacts that catch your eye.
I'm going to close the bag, and then I'm going to inquire as to what she might have. Procuring from my own bag a satchel of some gold coins.
So you're asking her if she would be interested in selling some of her possessions.
Yes.
Am I getting this correct? Okay.
Yes. Basically, I'm a thief, and I'm kind of thinking that she might be. Either through like nervous habit or whatever else, but I'm hoping that she might be able to sell something.
I don't have much. Kind of opens her bag, looking inside. I found this. She pulls out the bottle, and I don't know exactly what it does yet, but I'm pretty sure it's magical. It looks like it's something floating inside here, and as she holds it up, it does, in fact, looks like a bit of a nail cutting floating in this slightly opaque liquid.
I'll get that childlike wonder again and ask how much repeatedly, like 2 or 3 times.
What? Yeah, you want to add anything there?
Oh, yeah. How important is this bottle?
Are you asking this to the kenku or to your party member?
To my party member.
I don't know what it is.
Why do we want this?
I got a curse last session, and I have childlike wonder. So here's something that is. So
Just shiny must want.
yeah.
Well, what do you have to offer to trade?
Have some gold coins. I have.
Okay.
Hey, Sid, you have the magnifying glass, right? Which means I have the muffin, right? Okay.
Your logic sounds good.
I could give it a hairball as well.
That went south real quick.
Well, from my gray bag.
Wait. Sorry, did you say a hairball from your grey back?
Gray bag.
Oh!
DM, my magical item.
Yes. Bag of tricks, I take it?
Yeah.
Is that only temporary? So you're trying to pull a post on you?
No. Appears empty. Does it say a time?
Pretty sure it only lasts an hour, the animals from the bag of tricks.
The creature vanishes the next dawn or when its health goes to 0.
The next dawn was longer. Okay. You're offering a friend for a day?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see what creature you get. Maybe she'll like it.
Fuck. I rolled a d8.
And?
I would like to not go through with the deal. I rolled a panther, dude. I don't trust this little bird with a panther. I was thinking I was going to give it like
no, that's the
something
deal.
small.
Well, I'll take the panther. It's beautiful. You just wanted this bottle, is that right?
Thankfully, the bird I don't think would know what the animal would be.
Well, first of all, you would be telling the creature to listen to kettle steam.
Yes, if I summoned it. I think we'll look for your items and get the information you desire.
Gratitude. The expression coming strongly onto this creature's face as tears spring into her eyes. Thank you. I've been so lost, and if this carnival leaves again, I do not know how long I'm going to need to wait to try and find my way back there.
Yes, but one more thing. If if we get you back in contact with your patron Sibylnia, I just require a little bit of blood, not much.
Okay. You mean blood from Zybilna herself?
No, from the kenku thing.
Oh, damn.
It won't kill you, nothing major, just...
Make a persuasion check. You literally needed a 20. Because no one wants to really give you their blood, but you seem to be really hung up on this. How much are you asking for?
Just like a pint.
Jesus, how much is a pint?
Body holds 5 pints. Usually when you donate, I think you donate about a pint.
It's a half a liter, damn, man.
Yeah, half a liter.
You don't just want a little nibble, you want to like put an IV in and let it drip for a while. I don't think... Oh, jeez, you got a nat 20, but... Damn, that goes against every survival instinct this creature has. I'll say you could... No, she's just too freaked out. She can try help you find someone that might be more amenable.
I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Alright.
I don't even have to bite. It can come from a bag.
I don't understand what that means. That sounds even scarier.
Like a blood bag. Like a...
Okay, but you got to put it into the bag first, though, right?
Yeah, they could do it through like an IV type situation.
This is not helping
Wow.
the situation.
Okay. Yeah. 14. That does that save? That probably saves, right?
Yeah, that does.
Nope. She bristles, and I think at this point, let me just stand here so I can see the people moving around on the street, and they can see me.
Yes.
She's
I'll
standing
move with
outside of
her.
the moon. I will. Thank you so much for agreeing to this. I will meet you at the Bigtop Extravaganza, and tell you if I found out anything. Meet up with you, see if you've discovered something new. She's trying to kind of disassociate herself from you guys.
Okay.
You let her go. She agrees to meet you later. Okay.
I say
She moves
yeah.
off.
I'll flip her a gold coin and tell her to stay out of trouble in the meantime.
Right. She gets out of there pretty quickly. You guys, however, yeah. What are you doing? Well,
A pint of blood? Really?
Ah, sorry. No. I can't go too long without sustenance.
It's just raise eyebrows.
We don't know, do we?
I think this is the first time.
Okay.
I
So are you
smile.
looking all like Dracula-like?
Yeah, I smile in such a way where you could see that I do have fangs.
Auspicious and curious.
Well, unfortunately for now, she does not seem interested. You could always maybe try and lure some of the patrons into a side alley, or however you want to approach it. I don't know how you get your blood if you are hungry, but for now, you guys do have an hour till the Bigtop event happens. You can always look around in that time or go to other events.